Don't want to pay for my ambulance? How about a helicopter instead? I had an anaphylactic reaction a few months ago and recently received a large bill for being taken to the hospital in an ambulance. Apparently, the ambulance company, while owned by the in-network hospital, was out of network, so the bill was on me. Wanting to avoid this situation in the future, I called my health insurance company to ask what ambulance companies were in network. That's when I learned that absolutely no ambulances for a 150-mile radius are in network, except for 3 helicopter ambulance companies. So I live in a fairly rural area, where many folks are hours away from the nearest hospital, and farm accidents are common. So it makes sense that we have helicopter ambulances. But I live in town, and a ground ambulance is by far the cheapest and easiest thing for everyone. But it's not in network. The insurance representative said that the reason the ambulance wasn't covered was to encourage members to use in-network services. So I said, the in-network option is a helicopter, and I live 3 miles by road from the hospital. Are you sure you want me to use the in-network option? There was a long pause, and she said she had to check with her supervisor. A week later, I got a letter from my insurance company saying that my bill was paid in full. Looks like they did not want that in-network option after all. I used to work for Cigna Health Insurance in claims if you ever have an emergency service denied for out-of-network appeal, any service rendered in accordance to what any layperson would constitute as an emergency should have this service upgraded to be in network coverage even if the provider is out of network. Health insurance companies are for profit and don't actually provide any service that improves health. They are leeches that have convinced us that we need their services. Whenever I read about the US healthcare system, it blows my mind. Helicopter to travel 3 miles, ha 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 ha. I went to an in-network doctor at an in-network hospital who sent my blood work to an out-of-network lab, so guess who got a $600 bill faced with rolling eyes? What part of the world do you live in where you get charged for an ambulance? That sounds downright dystopian. Had a similar issue when I went to the ER and got admitted for emergency surgery. Apparently, the anesthesiologist was out of network, so they weren't covered. Checked to see which one was covered and there are 0 in network. I guess you just have to bring and administer your own pain meds for surgery. Living in Czech Republic, sometimes I need a reminder that free healthcare isn't a thing everywhere. I mean, our country has its share of problems regarding bad decisions at the government level, but I'm grateful at least we don't have to deal with this kind of tea. It's not actually free, as we have to pay mandatory health insurance monthly fee, which is either deducted from our wage or you have to pay it yourself if you're self-employed. But the fee is reasonably low, less than 14% of a minimum wage. And it gives you a peace of mind, knowing that if something happens you'll be taken care of at no extra cost. For most procedures anyway. America, where you can pay $1,000 for an in-network or hospital that assigns you an out-of-network doctor to tell you that, we can't do anything about your arm pain. Profit should never be involved with healthcare. Burn the system to the ground. America! Exclamation mark. I think our US core editors elect clowns in their politics. I'm not surprised their healthcare system is a circus. Fun fact: in the USA, air ambulances are covered under the NSA No Surprises Act. This means that when you are being transported by an air ambulance in an emergency situation, the ambulance and your insurance are required to bill you in network rates regardless of your network status. It is illegal otherwise. Ground ambulance is not covered under NSA. Well played. Here's a little secret I learned by actually reading my policy. There was no in-network ambulance service. So when we had a $24,000 invoice for an emergency medical transport between hospitals an hour away, the insurance refused to pay it. So I dug into the policy and discovered a little tidbit that they didn't want to tell me. If there is no in-network ambulance service in my area, they are obligated to pay for an out-of-network ambulance service. Quoted their own policy to them, and they finally wiped the invoice from my account by paying it at their discounted rate. Never trust your health insurance, to be honest with you. Ever. I called hospital ambulance for my mom a few years ago. Turns out her insurance uses an ambulance company 22 miles away. The hospital argued with insurance. 5 minutes away. Heart patient, etc. INS refused. Hospital donated the ambulance service to her finally. BS sucks. Bunch of third world idiots. Compared to Australia, what you Americans get is BS. In QLD Australia, the state government pays for AMBO cover. https www. Queensland Country. Health cover options, ambulance cover, hash. Text equals all %20 Queensland %20 residents %20 or %20 automatically. Live %20 inches %20 R %20 grade %20 state. Total win. Good for you giving a sanity check to the insurance company. Exclamation mark. Ambulance rides used to be covered via taxes like firefighters. It changed under Reagan. I imagine that he and Rush and Pat Robertson have a good laugh about it between having red-hot pokers jammed into aura faces. If healthcare was not privatized, this in-network issue wouldn't rob people like it currently does.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.